I have to come in Planet Fitness, okay, and charge my phone because I really don't like going on the internet about this shit anymore. Because to be honest, like I want to get to the point of my life where I get the money that I was born to have, and also I don't want to be around people. I don't want anybody to ever be able to find me. Um, so I noticed that Miss Kim's daughter from dysfunctional family, she was the bus driver today. I'm only speculating this because I watched these people on the internet because it been points of time where I was like, I wish I had a family like that. They seem family oriented. Well, I just seen her on the internet blaming something on Miss Kim. But you have to think, I know that these people don't know me. They only hear about me and all they do is lie to each other. And so, just like this group, they know they're in trouble. They have to try to save themselves. I don't know how the shit work. I'm just thinking how shady people think when they have to get into it with each other, else they all going to jail. So it was definitely Miss Kim's daughter. By me seeing how this energy work, circles, realms, all this stuff, that was her. Now, the first thing about her is that she is shaped exactly like these people that's doing this shit. Real fucked up and real big, but flabby. Her feet is too small for every pair of Jordans that she put on. So it's something going on with her feet like everybody else's. And it's nasty because this stuff moves. All it is a bunch of worm-like things that they put in their body that carries energy. Drugs, this, that, and the third. I'm assuming. Anyway, anyways, I'm extremely high. This is the thing that people have to realize about me. I'm an adult. I'm extremely grown. I would be in the house or in my car not bothering us. So I wouldn't be out driving, risking my life for anybody else's. I cover up my windows. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want anybody to see me. I don't have a fake life for claiming that I want to be clean because I'm allowed to do what I want to do if I do it responsibly. What God says specifically in the Bible is keep a sober mind. Your mind is sober if you can still function as who you are. Pay attention to your surroundings. Notice when somebody try to roofie you, because I really do be fucked up because that's how I like to live. I don't have my kids. And so let's be clear on that. So the situation at Kroger on Marburg, I get to jail because I didn't go to court. See, this is the whole thing. The judge know what I'm thinking when I'm in court. I am not dealing with no fake program because if you didn't catch me doing drugs or anything related to what you arrested me for, I'm not going to treatment for anything. I would never allow a white person that has no idea what it's like to be a black woman in a black home in a black community to try to tell me to believe what they're saying over my own mind, or else I'm crazy. Bitch, please. And I am very disrespectful by accident because I get upset when people try to control me because for some reason, everybody's always trying to control me. Now, let me tell you how delusional and stupid these motherfuckers is. They are clearly sex trafficking in Hamilton County Jail. They are literally putting people in dorms. Oh, yeah, the shit fucked up. Why would you want me to see that? Because everybody knows how the system is set up that you can read people's mind. If I see something, I'm only helping the people that they've been trafficking that's not allowed to say anything. I don't even have to say anything. The problem with it is this. How? When I went to court, when the first time that I got arrested, I did 32 days for a theft with no priors. The girl that stopped me is from Warren. How was she in Cincinnati like everybody else from Warren? Literally everybody. How are they all in Cincinnati? Because I'm in Cincinnati and they were all in Kentucky and they were all in Tennessee. Um, that's the first red flag. But then it was some shit with mental health. I was in a mental health pod because I spit. So basically, if you spit this shit out that they trafficking through people, they can put you in jail. Blah, 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 blah. Well, anyway, to skip and bypass all of that, I'm done with this shit. I will live a regular, perfect life for myself and with God because I'm a responsible human being. I had kids on purpose. All you got to do is work. Everybody knows that I'll work. There's nothing else to do. And I don't want to hang out with nobody. And so if I'm saying I'm blacklisted from a job, I'm really blacklisted from a job. Because I'm going to say something because I'm really trying to get my kids. If my mother had my kids stolen in the court, tried to get my son kidnapped, that means that she's sex trafficking my kids through this energy. Because why would she not want me to get my kids when clearly I've done everything that I can do other than just say I gotta wait on God? Well, anyway, back to Miss Kim's daughter. I was never put on probation. And so I got a trespassing at Kroger. I can go in there and buy stuff. If I try to return it, they got the police coming. Is this, is that. And so my tongue is messed up because all this spit, it's like these bitches is toting in some heavy, I don't even know what the shit is. It's energy. Their feet move. So it's a whole bunch of shit to move. So it been a whole bunch of stuff to just keep happening. So what happened, somebody at the Hamilton County Jail keeps pulling up my name and my record and telling people, well, she's supposed to be on probation or she's on probation. No, I'm not. For any stipulations that you have when you get out of jail, they give you paperwork. Because other than that, how do you know what you're supposed to do? It's nobody's business what goes on with me and my attorney in court or after court. How would anybody know if my attorney came and talked to me? How would anybody know what the judge's ruling was? How would these people that do not know me, they're all in this group of pedophile women and sex trafficking women from Warren, Ohio, and the whole pipeline, Florida to Michigan. That's just the one I'm in. It's many of them, I'm sure. But how do these people keep knowing anything that they think they heard or know in the court? If I am not on probation, even if I was, I'm not going to go because this is not my life. This is what they're doing. And I'm not about to keep on putting myself as an adult to have to go report to another adult on what I can and cannot do if I cannot go to work. I cannot provide for myself. The thing that makes this shit look even more stupid, these people are running around offering all of these government paid services. Treatment for no apparent reason. If they order it in court, why would, if you get caught stealing, you got to go to mental health drug treatment? That doesn't make sense. But the government keeps saying we don't have any money to pay for any more services. You can't even have food stamps. They'll blame Trump, they'll blame this and they'll blame that, but they have the government paying for everybody and they're telling everybody to be codependent on the government so they can get grants, free money, sex trafficked children, whatever they're doing. The government cannot pay for treatment through CareSource because that's government money they don't have. They're not thinking clearly. But why do they keep on coming up with, they think they know this, it's not true. That means somebody's putting this in the system that has access to county records. Because that is not my stipulations. There is no way that anybody can say without saying that they're spying in jail, which they are. They have recorders to where a deputy can be inside of a pod. The one inside of the watch port can have a whole conversation. without being on intercom? Why would they care or be listening if they supposed to be watching the camera? Why are they spying on what's going on in each pod and people are allowed to have personal conversations? So anyway, how would they, so when I go to Kroger one day, Miss Johnson, first of all, I am not that popular of a person. Out of all the people that are trespassed from Kroger, because a lot of people get caught stealing at Kroger, and they're trespassed from all Krogers. How aren't they recognizing these people? Because a lot of these people roaming the streets are supposed to be in jail. You know how I know? Because they had me go verify that this is what they're doing, because they keep trying to send me to jail, and that's the last place they want me because I'm not committing any crimes. I keep saying that I don't steal. I was born rich. I just have to wait on God to get my money, and that's what it is. Anybody that knows me know. I mean, it's just common sense. I'm almost 42 years old. Like, I wrote scripts for a living when this first happened. Why would I be stealing and I'm not boosting? This is little petty ass dumb shit, okay? That they're claiming. If I cannot work, the only other option is to sell drugs, do something illegal, or sell my pussy. You're not gonna pick any of that because selling pussy is soliciting. It's illegal. Why would you keep that a secret? If you're only giving me an option to solicit myself, or else I gotta go to jail, it's absolutely ridiculous, because I said I called the FBI a long time ago, and I really did. I don't know, I'm high, and I really don't even be feeling like talking about this shit because it's so much with it that I am a very honest person. Because the next part that we gonna go to is this. If the niggas get caught doing all of this shit on the internet, all of this shit that they keep claiming the internet showed them, why would the government, the FBI, not listen to what I'm saying when I'm saying that Kentucky has made their own private FBI headquarters with nothing but gang stalkers, just like Kroger? I've already put it on the internet that when I went to the FBI field office, there is no non-so-called Jewish agents. They called the police on me at the FBI office because I went to the FBI office telling them I'm a targeted individual. I have an open case. Because if I don't, I contacted the FBI on the murder for hire that my mom did. That is a crime. It's clear that this is what's going on because I provided the proof. Not to mention, if they look into it, it's a lot involved with targets. It's people that has been fighting for this shit with the government, affidavits, this, that, and the third, for years. I am not the only or first target. So you mean to tell me that y'all think y'all created a government that doesn't have to answer to Washington, D.C.? What happened is that these people have convinced these gang stalkers, these drunk, like, people that have positions in the union as a supervisor, just secret society jobs. If you're in a union, you're in a secret society. It's a local lodge with numbers. They must have convinced these people that the government doesn't exist and that they can manipulate I don't know what would make people go to this extent. Like, the government is not going to say something. Well, bro, that's like, you would just sit and hear these sounds of somebody saying shh. Like, who would be saying shh? Or even be listening at an extent to where you just keep hearing these, and they have noisemakers everywhere. Like, I've been saying this. They are extremely weird. They think that it sounds crazy for you to tell the truth about what they're doing, like you're the only one saying that they're doing this shit. Everybody hears the noises. That's why they ask you a million times on a mental health assessment, do you hear noises? Do this. Why do you keep asking me that? Why is this all of a sudden questions y'all want to know? Because you're doing it. Anyway, um, so somehow I ended up with a probation violation. Kroger decided that they were calling the police as soon as it went into effect. I was not on probation. I didn't do anything. I don't have any priors. On a petty theft, if I did 32 days and the maximum time is 180 with no priors, I am 40 something years old telling people I am a target and I do not steal. I don't have a history of theft. I've always had money. I'm not boosting. I'm not buying stuff to sell. So it just doesn't make sense that I'm extremely poor. I'm homeless. I can't work. I can't get my kids. For theft to just pop up on my record at this point in life, what do you think that the FBI is thinking about that? If all of a sudden, as soon as something go into the system saying I have a probation violation, Kroger decides that they want to call the police. But remember, I keep saying it's always these thoughts of going in Kroger. And so, and again, I'm high. I got to think about what I'm saying because I be forgetting because it's just like, I don't even want to keep on going over this shit. But the shit that just keep on happening is really ridiculous. And so I don't know if maybe I need to say something to them about what's going on because it's annoying and I really want to check out. Like, I just don't want to be bothered with this shit no more. These people are really dependent upon me. And I don't know how it would register that if I was to die, how would they survive if they've based everything with this operation on me? They're very stupid. So, anyway, the first day that this violation popped up, Kroger calls the police. Miss Johnson. Now, again, there are hundreds of people trespassing Kroger. Why do you keep noticing Miss Johnson when I'm not in here stealing me? I'm not in here stealing anything. The only way I have receipts is if I'm paying for stuff. If I decide to return it, it's none of your business. But they know way too much that how would you know and nobody knows me? They've created a scene to where nobody's allowed to deal with me. Nobody is allowed to deal with me. Not because I'm not a nice person, not because I'm not a good person. They're not allowed, which makes sense because if people is trying to get out of a sex trafficking ring where they're getting trafficked and not allowed to say nothing, it would make sense for them to at least not deal with me because I'm going to say something because everybody knows that these people are really stupid. They had tried to make me responsible for a race war. Bruh, where I am from, there is only two races, black and white. It took me so long to figure out who these people is that started acting like this because they look familiar, but I've never seen these people act like this. Bruh, some of my closest friends are white people. I've had to have discussions about if I had to trust anybody, it would be somebody white because they're not all going to sell their soul because if they're dealing with the devil because this is who their parents want to be or whatever the case may be, if you watch interviews, they've been through a whole lot of shit. And so they have money. You'll be able to find a white person that you can trust. I just know that about them. Guess why? Because I always had white friends. I went to a predominantly white high school. People that I never fell out with before are white people. I do not fuck with black bitches. I learned a lot about growing weed from my homeboy that's white. I learned a lot about this from my homeboy that's white. And so I started to recognize like they're trying to make me responsible for racist hate. I don't know, just like they did Charles Manson, trying to start a race war. But I am a woman, first of all. I am not allowed to carry a weapon. I wish that I was, but the way this target program is set up is in phase 1, they'll make you become a felon so that you cannot defend yourself because they'll try you and you can't have a gun. You can't stab a bunch of people at once. And so why would I want to cause a problem where children are going to get killed innocent people that cannot do anything. But I've had these people from Kentucky or wherever they're from, it whatever the case may be. Um, it just been a whole bunch of shit. But the truth is, it's these black bitches that has tried to cause a race war. I don't know if they don't recognize that they sit up and tell these white people that they love them all the time. They got the heart symbol so that they constantly can tell each other this all the time. The people that's involved in this need extreme support. Oh, good job. Like, it's just unrealistic. Um, but then if you're not in their group, you're supposed to be treated like you're shunned, like you're supposed to care what they think about you. This shit is really deep and it's really stupid. So they telling these white people, we love you. Everybody does not know what's going on, and some people really is trapped in this shit, because if everybody team up against you, who are you gonna tell? It's reality. Like, I don't know. But these black women that sit up, these hunkies this, these white people that, they racist, this, that. But then you got stringy, like this shit just happened in jail. You got stringy hair and that's why you white and you a junkie and this and that. So you mean to tell me, because I was wondering about this shit, because everybody's treating me a certain way, bro. I am not the problem. Y'all don't hear these people sitting up in y'all's face talking about y'all like y'all have them in slavery and those days are supposed to be over, because they're in slavery too. You know how I know? Because I watch The Real YouTube. It's people that is their own people underground begging for somebody to understand these fucked up rituals that they have to go to. These are their parents. There's nothing they can do as children. It's probably them that got it, the white people, the kids that got it the worst, and then the Hispanics. And so I understand all of that, because where I'm from is only black and white. But the thing about it is, these black women that cause this controversy to where I now know and can prove that somebody instated probation on my sentence, because they only know whatever they think they heard. They don't know who I talked to after that, unless they're tracking me to an extent to think that I didn't talk to nobody. That's extreme tracking, because how do you know? So the probation violation went in there. I'm not on probation. They put it in there. When I was getting out of jail, they were asking, she do have a prior. Yeah, she's been here before. But the paperwork said, I don't. If I did 32 days on a petty theft, that would be time served. That means that I have done the time for this crime. I don't have any priors. When I used to write scripts and got in trouble, that was over the 7 to 10 years ago. It shouldn't even be on my record. Why are they looking into me at this level? This is Kroger. So anyway, they keep on popping up on me. These security guards is watching me walk into the store. They have to be called first. Mind you, they're trafficking this shit through their butt. I put the fucking security guard on the internet, standing outside of Kroger, bending over, catching his. I put all this shit on the internet, bro. And so they wait and walk up. Miss Johnson, let me remind you, I have been locked up with people in the petty pod where you just got dumb shit. Everybody damn near was in there for stealing that Kroger. How are they only recognizing Miss Johnson? Because these people go back in Kroger. I've seen them at Kroger. Not to mention they're supposed to be in jail. These people are supposed to be in jail. I was just in jail with these people and they didn't get out. They're allowed out. That's what we outside tonight mean. Why would they have me go verify that? Stupid. Behind some shit that will never stick, because I don't steal. I was born rich, and I know that. They don't believe me. Like, why is it this big thing with this controversy against who they think I'm supposed to think I am? It makes no sense. Anyway, so they walk up Miss Johnson. Now, only thing that I would think is this: people's body shape change. Out of respect, because I keep saying that they're stalking and harassing me, if somebody have to take a picture of me, you only need to have my face because, for number one, you can put it in the system for facial recognition. If I have on very short shorts and a tank top, why would Kroger, to where all of these weird ass security guards have these pictures of me in either their work cell phone or their regular phone, when I've already said that they was trafficking me through the prison through these pictures Tariq was stealing off of the internet through Snapchat? They're selling porn from me doing shit with my boyfriend at the time on the phone. Why would they think that it's okay, or that I wouldn't think that this is what they're doing? Because now they show me this picture to where I'm standing there, a full body picture with some real short shorts on. And you can barely even see my face that good. You see my body. They keep taking pictures of me because now they're showing me all these pictures that they keep taking every time they say I'm trespass. Bro, I go to Kroger all the time because guess what? If I have a prescription, Walgreens does not fill my prescriptions. What am I supposed to do? Die because they want to play this stupid ass game? Kroger moved me around by zip code. When I first moved to Columbus, my first apartment was behind the Kroger. My first zip code, 43229. My first zip code here in Cincinnati, 45229. So, anyway, these strange security guards got these pictures of me, my body, every time somebody says something about trespass. Well, the judge said that I'm not allowed at a specific Kroger, the one on Marlboro. I later found out that the police has to trespass you. You can't just say from all these because these are different franchises. This is what they're trying to say. This is how stupid they is. It's Kroger Company and Family. It says Kroger is one. So by them saying that, that's how it should be. But that's not how it's operated. These Krogers are owned by different entities, they're franchises now, which means that they all have different policies. Because come to find out, Ronisha, that's supposed to be in jail, got out of jail yesterday to play the store manager at a Kroger where it's a man at the store manager. How I know? Because I had to talk to him about when somebody broke into my car at the store. Ronisha is supposed to be in jail. So anyway, back to these bitches and this jail shit. So now, well, the whole point of today, because I really don't even want to come on here and talk about this shit because it's just, I can't focus really right now because I really didn't even want to have to get on here. So anyway, yesterday was free bus day, right? Because of election. These people driving these buses are not from Cincinnati. They are not regular Metro drivers. These are people from the internet. Everybody has a busing CDL. And so I watch these channels. These people think that they look different, but they don't. And so they come here with these different accents. You can tell a forced Southern accent. You can tell a forced Cincinnati accent. And mind you, a lot of these people are from where I'm from, in Michigan. I've moved up the pipeline and down a little bit, so I know faces. Anyway, I bought some X pills today. Now, I just want to be completely honest about what I did because I don't have to be clean. I don't have my kids, so I'm not responsible for any kids and I don't babysit. I'm a grown adult and I'm not bothering anybody, they're bothering me. The police has no reason to suspect me of anything because I'm grown. It's nobody's business because police officers are regular people too. I would think that if somebody keep calling them for some real dumb petty shit when they got their own life issues, it just is stupid. But they know that I bought X-Files. And this, let me tell you why. Because they want to call the police again. So I'm supposed to have court on November the 5th for trespassing, I think, or some shit. I don't even know. My public defender sent me a text and said, I don't have to show up at court. They might have missed that text because I've called the FBI, which means that the FBI only allow them to see what they want them to see. I really did tell. And so you have to think of the crimes that these people are trying to say that other people doing when it's these black women that's messy as fuck on this internet. And so they think that, I don't know, maybe they think I miss court. I don't know what the fuck they think. But yesterday was free bus day. Mind you, when you work, I've always been a taxpayer because I've always worked. And I can't even retire because this blacklisting, I be on and off of work because I'm always getting fired. So all the hard work that I put in consistently before they put me in this program, trying to control me, trying to have me be a whore that they get money, I don't fucking know, bro. They are really fucking stupid. Taxpayers' money paid for the metro services, for transportation. Taxpayers' money pay police officers. That's why taxes are so high, because it helps pay for city affairs. Do you know that yesterday was free day? But I had no idea because the bus used to be free on Mondays all the time. And so I wondered what had happened to that. Because the bus is extremely busy, why ain't free day still going on? Well, we all know it ain't. That's not even the point of why I'm coming on here. Do you know today, the bitch Miss Kim's daughter, okay, is the bus driver, the number 11, 24 or something, I forget the number. But I get on the bus and I'm like, well, I'm thinking that the free day is going to be until like literally the morning when the sun come up, something. Because if the whole day is free, who's thinking about a bus ticket that you're going to need tomorrow? Mind you, I don't even feel like taking the ticket out. I had just bought a ticket that would have been good until like 2 or 3 today, which means I didn't need it. So I lost $4.40 because of free day. Free day started as soon as I bought the ticket at 12. I don't know. As soon as I bought the ticket, that's when free day started. They knew that when I said, let me get a day pass. They knew that it was free day. Nobody said anything. So I wasted my $4.40, okay? And so the girl is like, well, y'all had a free day. Bitch, first of all, man, this is the whole thing about me. Like, I really wanted to get into it with the girl because this is all that I have to do. Nobody's going to try to fight me unless they're going to try to jump me. Or unless I've been up for an extreme amount of days and I'm just really fucked up and they done pissed me off and I don't care how somebody handle it. Like, if you're up for 4 or 5 days, because I have to stay up sometime. Everybody knows sometimes it's dangerous going to sleep. I've been homeless, so it just doesn't even matter. But the stuff I know about these women, I can disrespect them on levels that it's embarrassing. And I will embarrass you. If you decide that you want to hit me or do whatever, then you have to just hope that I can't fight. You have to hope this, hope that. But something told me don't argue with the girl because I see what they trying to do and I'm going to put it on the internet. So they're thinking that I should have a warrant for not going to court. But my public defender said I don't have court. I have that text message. Not to mention, I had pre-trial services for the trespassing. I know I'm not on probation because I had to check in with them. This was the second time I just got out of jail. They would have said, why didn't I go to probation? I'm not on probation. But a probation violation popped up. Well, who's my probation officer? What paperwork did I get getting out of jail? I didn't. Because they're in there gossiping. They're stalking me on these type of levels, which is insane because they're willing to play with the justice system, lying on me. I told the FBI, I did, which means that they're going to see that. So these people just keep going. Well, the girl was like, y'all had free day. Mind you, these bitches just trafficked a whole bunch of people through me, or however that shit that I'm spitting out work. So you think that you about to just run through me like that and then ask me why am I spitting on the bus? If it was Miss Kim would catch somebody out. Why the fuck is you asking me? Am I spitting? That's her character, and people think that shit funny. So why would she think it's okay to have a Dallas accent? She is from Michigan. In Cincinnati on a Metro bus that taxpayer dollars have to pay for. Because if everybody's been riding this bus for free, which they have through Kroger passes, where's the money coming from? Tax dollars. Anyway, or people's electric bill, because hybrid, you have to have electric. And so anyway, she said that. Whole bunch of other sneaky shit in between, but they already had this plot to where they were going to tell me that I can't get on the bus because they all know that I ride the bus because I'm homeless. I can't afford to pay for a hotel every day. So I'll just ride the bus. They know somehow if I have enough on my Cash App, how much money I have, because if I return something I paid for at Kroger, they're counting my money like that. Because of the whole situation with this bus thing, you had free day all day yesterday. Bitch, I ain't supposed to be riding no bus with your bitch ass. First of all, I was born rich. I swear to God, on my father and on God. I was born rich, bro. I can't make money come to me that I gotta wait for God to give to me. I just can't. Because it's a different type of money. And so I'm very fine patiently waiting. I've accepted that I cannot get my kids right now. I'll still try, but I can't go to work. I'm not going to keep banging on the closed door, and you're not going to have me running around like a chicken with my head cut off when my kids know I have been trying. They said no. So anyway, all this shit with this bus pass. So they got my money calculated down to how many miles I bought, what I bought from this person, that person. Mind you, when I got the Uber ride. Now, when these bums, the gang stalkers, these corrupt Masonic failures and Eastern Star failures, these black bitches, remember the black widows that killed their husbands just for money and drugs? These is the same group of people, just generations later, same generation, however it worked, fucked up people. When they tap into your phone, you still hear a dial tone. Already put it on the internet. It keeps clicking in and out. Every time I call one of my kids, my mom clicks in and you hear that dial tone. If the feds was hacked into your phone, you don't hear them coming in on the phone because then now you know you're under investigation. You don't think that if people hear that and they selling all these drugs, doing all this corrupt, illegal shit, that they would just stop doing it because somebody's listening and it's the Fed? Why would the feds tell you that they're investigating you? This shit's stupid. But the Uber driver, which was Dre from Columbus, he tapped into the phone when I went to go get a ride to get some weed. So they're listening to what I said I wanted on the phone to calculate my money from something that I paid for and returned at Kroger. This is the honest to God truth. Because how would they know that I just either don't want to spend $5 right now because that ticket that I bought as soon as free day started, that they knew I didn't need because it was already free day? Nobody said don't buy the ticket, which means I never needed it. I never got it. And so, no, I got it. I just never needed it. But as soon as free day expired, I get to the bus stop. The guy's like, you can't ride the bus without paying. It's free day. You had free day all day yesterday. Mind you, tax dollars paid for the metro service. Tax dollars. People have emergencies to where you can be homeless. What do I do if I'm homeless? Ever since we've been kids, the hospital has always been a safety emergency place. You cannot go sit in the hospital unless you check in and let them charge insurance for doing absolutely nothing. The hospital is no longer a safety place for domestic violence victims. Children that's being trafficked cannot find safety at the hospital because now the hospital is a trafficking system. So, in order to even sit in emergency until the morning, when you clearly are not a bum, you're clearly just homeless. Because I keep saying I'm a target. These people keep coming to bother me every time I go sit down somewhere. I end up trespassed, literally from everywhere in this city. What am I supposed to do? They literally think that they about to paint a system to where I'm gonna just roam around outside unless I join this group. Bro, I already told on y'all. It's just a matter of time before y'all start getting picked up or either killed. Because I would rather eliminate certain problems because, like, if you put these people in jail, we now know that they can get out. They're a big problem. I don't know what the government should do with them, but they had my money counted down like that. So now all of a sudden, you guys just had free bus day. Bitch, I got a car and had a car consistently since I've been 15 years old. Kroger just totaled my car by taking my brakes out. I've been saying this since Kentucky. Remember my car was broke down and I had to get everything fixed because I didn't know what was wrong? And I spent the 2 full paychecks I got and then got fired from that job on this car? It really happened. So why would my brakes go out? Because Kroger did it. And so to say you people just had free day, bitch, no, I bought a bus ticket and it was free day and you guys didn't say anything. So dude on the bus tells me that I had to get off of the bus at 2 something in the morning, a single woman roaming out here by myself. It's cold outside. It's obvious I'm homeless because they already had this plotted. Dude was like, well, since you're refusing to get off of the bus, we're going to call the police. You're going to call the police because what? Well, I'm like, I want to see you call the police because now once you do that, you have to answer to God as a man, because as a man, why would you want to have a single woman out here walking around? It's clear that I'm homeless. It's cold outside. I'm not trying to build a cabin or make the bus my home. Like literally, you're allowed to ride the bus. Why would you or your character even feel okay saying no? Why would you want me to roam out here knowing it's dangerous outside? Would you want that for your daughter or your mother? Because people are getting kidnapped. People are getting sex trafficked. Why would you want me to become a victim of that? Over a city bus ride that tax dollars pay for. Also his paycheck. Because if everybody quit riding the busing system, how would they get paid? Why would they need a job? This is some stupid shit. But why do you want to call the police about a bus ride? Because they think that I got a warrant. The government must not have let them see I didn't have to go to court. Because I already told the FBI. So they see everything that these people are doing. That only means that they didn't see that text message. But how are they counting my money down just to be able to call the police? So that the police say I have a warrant. Then they probably put probation violation back on there. Then they're going to want to search my stuff and they know I bought these X pills. So now they want to get me a drug charge. Because why are you calling the police about a bus ride when it looks like I missed court, but I have a text I don't have to go from my lawyer? Because they just tried to set some shit up for me to get caught with some fucking X pills. I don't sell drugs. So they want me to not be able to eat, not have pads and tampons, not be able to wash my ass, not be able to buy soap, not be able to wash my clothes, to the point where they're tracking every dollar that I have from stuff I'm paying for and returning. Kroger is a corporation. Why would these customer service representatives with no management and business savvy or minds, college minds, why would they be in Kroger's finances to a point where they figuring all of this shit that the accounting department has to handle? Kroger is a corporation. Yesterday, Ronisha tells me on Kroger's return policy, let me tell you a little bit about me. I worked in fraud, representments, and disputes for Chase. That is one of the hardest jobs that you can have because you have to be smart. The first thing is because reason code 30 is non-receipted merchandise, which most people use. That's how these people took these mom and pop companies out. I watched the whole thing happen. And it was through the dispute process because with American Express, any charge that is disputed, their customer is going to win. And then if it's enough money, they'll take it to mitigation, but their peoples get their money back. That means that the contractor that remodeled the home lost money on their work. They had to still pay their workers and they lose a lot of material. That's theft at very high levels. It's contractors all over that has complained. They're disputing these charges. American Express was not accepted for a long time. American Express and Discover, because of that reason. It took out the whole mom and pops, everything. And so, I ain't even gonna get into that, but you have to learn Visa and MasterCard rules and regulations, laws. So you have to think, in order to say non-receipt of credit, you were saying that the merchant was supposed to give you a credit, it didn't go through, so you are now disputing this on your card. The disputes department has to reach out to the merchant because there are certain laws you have to follow. One of them is the return policy. If you bought it in person, can you clearly see the return policy posted on somewhere where customer service is? You're supposed to have that there. If a return policy is already written, you can add to it if it was not written. Your mouth cannot change. What they had to pay lawyers to write this out because some of these dispute processes and credits, it's not just Kroger. Some people can return a couch. They just don't like it. You're allowed to return stuff. The credit may not post. The merchant may not want to follow the rules. They dispute it. When it's thousands of dollars, sometimes it goes to court. So that means that legally they have to go by this return policy. I know that because I worked at the bank doing this shit for a long time. Anyway, Kroger's Ronisha told me, now they always make a thing on policy. I know that I can sue Kroger because you're not allowed to do that. I put it on the internet for so many times. Bruh, I am suing them because I keep telling them this shit. They keep doing it. It's illegal. They make up their own rules for the police. They make up their own rules for all this shit. You cannot do that. There is really a federal government. And if it's not, then now you have to expose that, but they're still the militaries. I don't know their thought process. But Ronisha, that's supposed to be in jail. Ronisha says that she was going to call corporate. Mind you, corporate is not executives. Corporate doesn't exist. The CEO of Kroger just got busted for corruption in Kentucky or Cincinnati like 8 months ago, 6 months when I was in Kentucky. I don't know whether it happened or not. They said it did. So he was busted for corruption, which means that he's already being investigated for sex trafficking. The theater that they have downtown connected to the Kroger for children, but there's a club at the top. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, Ronisha says that she was calling corporate because something about returning something to the store. On the Kroger return policy, it says, return to your nearest store. There's Krogers everywhere because if you live in a big city, you just happen to go to lunch in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. But you live in Nashville. Do you know the traffic and the time that's involved in driving to Murfreesboro just to return something from Kroger? Why would a corporation that is rich and customers are always right? You're never supposed to make the customer feel like you're accusing them of stealing. This is customer service training 101. They will tell you customers are not always right. These black women will argue you down about that shit. No, that's what customer service is, because if this is what I'm being taught as a manager, that customer service is extremely important. Who is the people that's supposed to receive the customer's always right? Don't make them feel like who the fuck is that for if it's not for everybody? So you have to think about discrimination now. It's a thing because this is customer service training. And so this is all stuff you can sue for, that I'm going to sue for, because it's discrimination. I'm a customer. I don't work at Kroger. Why do you keep accusing me of stealing? Why do you guys keep knowing every time I'm about to walk into a Kroger, because it's always an operation set up? I have to get back to what they did today. Bro, I just don't give a fuck. I really don't, because why are you guys stalking me like this? How would Kroger know me out of all people, other than the fact that they are stalking me every time I try to return something? The policy says that 2 valid forms of a receipt is virtual and paper. This is what the return policy that the lawyers wrote says. Who keeps paper? We all know that Kroger Receipts ink does come off, and it could just be sitting somewhere where sunlight is. It's going to be blank. That's why they have digital receipts. Walmart's receipts do that too. Ronisha says she was calling corporate to see if I had to take it back to whatever the case was. She came and told me, this girl was supposed to be in jail, that Kroger corporate told her not to follow the corporate return policy on the internet, to completely cancel out what they said in writing for court purposes specifically. Disputes, fraud. Don't follow it. And this is what she said corporate said. And there's other people that heard her say this. She said she went and called them. So that happened. But then today, all they do, you can feel these people reading your mind. I've been saying this for so long. Like, they've been saying that they're going to make devices to be able to read your mind. It's clear they're stalking me. They're reading my mind and then my phone. All they do is worry about me, which is completely rude. They don't give a fuck about me really trying to get my kids, and them just putting up these roadblocks while these ugly ass sorry bitches is trafficking their children. For them to run around making these performances like they bad bitches, and they are through, they stank, they pussy is fished the fuck out. Them big ass butts look nasty than a bitch. These hoes is just, I don't even know, disgusting. So today, I get to Kroger. Do you know they already had the police outside waiting? Not only that, it was a security guard that was, I believe it was Anissa. It was one of them from that little group. Anissa Boss from Warren. Dressed in one of the bus driver uniforms, but just without the jacket, which means, was she in jail? And they let her out to run this transit? Because they do that. She's in there with a gun. You mean to tell me that y'all didn't call the police? You got a security in here that doesn't have on a security uniform like all the rest of the Kroger security guards. This is Anissa, or one of them bitches in that group, from Warren, again, and the police. Following me around the store when I go to buy chicken. I turn around and this security guard is just standing there looking at me like, bruh. So you mean to tell me all these people that's stealing, you're trying to catch me still what? Bruh, I don't be having anything that I buy that's worth even a felony. I don't have a record of theft. I don't steal. I've always worked and I've always had money. So if I'm saying that these people are doing this stuff and they're still doing it, why would they keep doing it? Because at some point, somebody's going to have to get them. Because every day it's going to keep being the same shit to the point where now it makes me wonder, why are they trying to push the police saying something to me about trespassing? Because they think I'm going to get arrested. Because they think from conversations or whatever documentation they done conjured up that I should have a warrant. I have the text in my phone if I do have a warrant. My public defender said I don't have to go to court. It's nobody's business. But thank you for letting me know that you guys are really trying to get me to get a trespassing, to go into this jail where you guys are, it's a brothel. Literally. Over a $10 item, 20 that I really paid for. Why is the police running to these stores behind this petty shit when I was a manager at stores? The police, it was some petty, the motherfuckers don't even come, or it takes an extremely long time. But for something, Johnson, why do y'all keep calling my fucking name? How do you know me? And the police come like that. About petty theft. Survival items if I did have to steal them, because I need pads, I need tampons. Anyway, why would these bus drivers want to call the police when they know that I got X pills and they're hoping that I have a warrant? So now these bus drivers have combined themselves with Kroger, trying to set up possession charges, this and that charges. How would they know? Because they have to tell the police whatever they done conjured up, and they're on the phones discussing this. If everybody can read everybody's mind, you don't think that they've threatened police officers and this, that, and the third? You don't think that the judge would be able to read this same shit y'all doing? And they are fucking stupid. Because how many days do I have to walk around outside? I don't like staying in cheap hotels. I work at nice hotels so that I can get a discount. So I don't know, bro, but it's becoming a point to where somebody's gonna have to get them. Because why would they call the police about a bus ticket when free day was the other day? Bitch, my motherfucking car got totaled because of Kroger. And so somebody need to get them. Put them all in a truck and put them in a dump and blow them bitches up. I really don't care, but everybody's tired of this shit, bruh. Because it's stupid. And all they're doing is getting people in trouble and making it look like this and making it look like that. And people really probably are guilty of a whole bunch of shit, but they have to deal with God about that. Why do they keep pressing this shit over some petty shit like this? Because what do they think having me in jail? They really think that they can put mental health on me and have me in Summit behind a fucking misdemeanor. They already tried it. Why are they so pressed to tell me I have mental health trying to take my mind? Why are they so focused on me having mental health to the point that you're trying to convince me I have mental health? How do you know me? I'm not out here talking to myself. I'm not bothering nobody. I'm not begging people for stuff. Why are you bothering me to try to tell me about my mental? I don't know, bruh. So now I had to come at Planet Fitness to charge my phone because I do have a pass. But it's a charger on the bus. Now, mind you, everybody else goes to an IHOP, Sleep. These are the people that they're trafficking, and that's mute, and they doing all this magic shit. They don't want me to see it. Like, I didn't already tell the FBI. Like, I'm not the only one saying this stuff. It's happening to people in real life, and there's really nothing that nobody can do. I am not about to commit a crime to be in jail, bro. They will literally have to kill me in front of everybody because you're not about to have me nowhere. I didn't do nothing. But like, what point is somebody gonna get these people off the bus? Because what else am I supposed to do? And it's cold outside. So I wash my clothes at the laundromat all the time. Do you know how much money that is just for a couple of outfits? I do. Do you know that the motherfucker gonna tell me last night because I was waiting on the bus and it's cold outside? This is not a shelter. What? Why are you even talking to me like that? Why would you tell me I can't come sit in this laundromat and let my phone charge while I wait for the bus and I'm a customer here? It was the same dude that stole my change out the change machine when I forgot it in there. How do these people know me to keep stalking and harassing me, trying to ban me from everywhere in a city that is not theirs? And so if I just start wilding out and just doing something, like, I'm allowed to stand my ground. Because what else am I supposed to do? These people are literally setting situations to where they tore up my car. I broke down how they tore my car up piece by piece. These people. I've had a car since I've been 15 years old, consistently. I've never not had a car. But it's wintertime. So these people want to ban me or trespass me from everywhere that I can walk in and stay warm, to not have me on the bus, to think I'm just gonna sit on it. Like, there's no shelters unless you have mental health or drug addiction. I'm not that pressed to depend on the government to say I have either. And so if the government keeps saying we do not have money to keep on using government funds, that's why there's no food stamps. Because they're still trying to push, why don't you go to sober living? Why don't you go to treatment? Do you know how expensive that stuff is out of government money, taxpayer money? Extremely. When you have a rehab, you get $100,000 per head off of each inpatient. That's why I think they have so many days that they have to keep you there, because after they get that check, or they send your ass right back to prison for everything they allow you to do while they was waiting on that money. So it's just some real stupid shit that they got going on here. But I'm really to the point, like, you're going to have to call the police if you want to sit here and hold the bus up for some petty shit like that. Because why would you want to call the police instead of just letting me get on the bus if I'm telling you I just don't have the money until the morning? My phone was dead. How would they know if I have money on my cat? How are they so sure about how much money I got? And so, I'm going to try to get on this bus one more time because, like, it's cold outside. Every establishment is going to say, you can't just sit here. Only me. I've already showed pictures of how people is in IHOP sleep. Multiple. They're going to have to call the police. Because I have a text on my phone. If I have a warrant, I shouldn't. My lawyer told me I don't have to go to court. How did the warrant get in there? Because why would they call the police when every day if I don't have money or my bus pass gets stolen, they just let you ride? Why are you trying to call the police today? So when niggas wonder why they get set up in situations and caught with drugs or this and this and that, because they're setting it up through Kroger and Metro. These bus drivers that's coming from all over these states, like they're from Cincinnati, talking to you like they better than you and ain't shit. So I'm just confused about the whole shit. I really am, because I'm tired of it. Like, But the reality of it is, how would I feel if it's a group of people that came from all over the country and I don't know why me? I don't even care. I want them to leave me alone and stay out my business. That they've created a system to track me and read my mind for them to all try to perfect being me. Like I've been saying, they keep acting like me. They keep talking like me. Do you know how weird that is? I'm talking about how I move, stuff I do. That is extremely weird. But not only that, why is the police showing up for this petty shit but not solving murders? Not coming to see what I'm saying these people are doing. They're coming for petty theft and trespass. Why would I not be able to sit somewhere to stay warm like people would do. I'm not a bum. I'm not bothering anybody. Why would I be trespassed from literally everywhere in the city, damn near, because they have me homeless? So it's just something to think about because that shit really got me pissed off. And it's like, how much do I got to take if the police isn't going to do anything about what I'm saying these people are doing to me, but I got to risk going to jail. I got to do, bruh. Like, what do they think I'm supposed to do? Because eventually I'm going to flip out. Because why is the police ignoring what I'm saying they're doing? Why does that sound crazy when their actions are really crazy? They're doing all of this behind something that would never even equal to a felony. I am 40 something years old. I do not steal. I've always had money and I was born rich. I have to wait for God to get the money. And so it just doesn't make sense to be blacklisted, which is something that I've never been through. I wasn't born to be homeless, bro. My family has money. Why do they keep trespassing me from everywhere in this wintertime and cold? And I keep saying this. So when the police come next time, I am the type that will call the police on the police because I do it all the time. You have to. But eventually, something is going to have to happen because these people are stalking me and literally telling me that I have to sit outside in the winter cold, that I can't even ride the bus, that you're calling the police all of a sudden.